One of the things that has really helped me as I move through this season of grief is to take that big amorphous feeling of grief and try to get more specific about what I'm actually feeling in the moment, what I'm actually missing. And then that information helps me get those needs met in other ways. So let me give you a few examples. So one of the things that I miss is literally having a second set of hands in the house to do some of the chores. And I promise you, no matter how much you think your husband doesn't help, if he's not around to help, you suddenly notice all the things that he was actually doing. So one example for me is literally it is always my turn to unload the dishwasher. Even if I used to unload it more than 50% of the time, now it's 100% of the time. Another example is I had a day where I had a bunch of house stuff to do. Our boiler was acting up, and then when the guy was out working in the boiler, we discovered there was a problem with one of the valves in the hot water heater. And then, that led to something that was very give a mouse a cookie, only home maintenance edition. And I got through all of that. That took up more than a whole morning. And then I had to go shovel the driveway, which was really more than I could do. And so that is something that my husband, while I was down with the furnace repair guy, he would have taken care of the driveway. And now everything is my responsibility. Okay. That is not specifically grief for missing my husband. That's just grief for having a second set of hands. And I can actually get a second set of hands. There's a million ways that I can get some help. I could hire someone to help me clean my house for a while. I could hire someone to shovel the snow. I could ask a neighbor to help me clear my driveway. There's certainly neighbors that would come over with their snowblowers and help if I asked. Or I could do what I did, was just drive over the snow for a few days until I had it in me to clear the driveway. That's understanding that missing that second set of hands is a specific problem, and that there's things that I can do to lighten that load on myself. That reduces the overall grief blob. Second way that I miss my husband is there are skills that I don't have because there are things that he just took care of that I wasn't involved with at all. Great example of that is taxes. I last did my taxes when I was 26 years old. Okay. It has been 30 years since I have done my taxes. I have to learn a new skill. Planning vacations. He planned all of our vacations. I don't know the best way is to go figure out, a good airfare. These are all skills that I can learn, or I can hire someone to help me, or I can ask a friend. But I'm just noticing there is a frustration that I have all these new skills to learn all at once. Okay. That is different than missing the human. Okay. That is missing a skill set that I used to have access to. And I have to find a new way to get that skill need covered. Okay. I can do that. I can figure it out. And again, that pulls some of the grief out of the main bucket. I can just be sad about having to learn a new skill, but that's a solvable problem. I will eventually learn the new skill. It's not the same quality as missing a specific person. Okay, the third way that I notice that I miss my husband a lot is that he used to be my favorite person to share my joy with. If I finished a big task, or I made a difficult phone call, or I did something I was really proud of, I got some exciting news, I would go charging into his office, and he would share my joy with me. I just couldn't wait to run upstairs. My office is downstairs, his is upstairs. I just couldn't wait to run into his office and share the news with him. Or had something funny happen to me, or had something frustrating happen to me. He was the first person I wanted to tell. And that feels like a truer version of missing him. And at the same time, I have a lot of other relationships in my life. I have a lot of friendships. I have other family that matter to me that I can cultivate the habit of telling them. If I have great news, my best friend absolutely wants to hear it. And so it's a new habit of deepening the friendships I have. And I still get to share my joy. That is a need I can still get met other ways. And noticing all of the resources that I have, that is a lot of the work that we do in Treasure Map. That is the work of identifying all of the pieces of your life. Like, are there pieces of finance things that one of you took care of that you need a plan in place if something happened to you so that the other person can still go on? Luckily for me, I always did all the house maintenance. But if I had gone first using the Treasure Map process, I had spec'd out, this is who we use if we need an electrician. This is who we use if we need the guy to come fix the boiler. Like, having all that mapped out, even if it's just in your phone, even if your partner knows that if they need someone, they can go in your phone and search furnace and figure out who to call, that reduces the burden on them later so that they don't have to figure it out. Like, the last thing you want to do as a widow or a widower is wake up to no hot water and not know who to call. The Treasure Map process will really help you look at each of the areas of your life, your finances, your relationships, your home, your insurance, your taxes, all of those areas of your life. And it will make sure that you are well resourced in each one of those areas so that if something happens to you or your partner, you're set up for the smoothest, most comforting grief experience that you can have. This type of peace of mind that I have, because we did all of these preparations, has made such a difference, and I want that for you as well. The first step is to hop on a call with me, and you can go to the link in my bio, and we'll just talk and see how Treasure Map process can help you as well.